To Washington, WNMJ.
Welcome to the Carmiece radio show. We here. Ooh, I'm showing up, y'all. I'm recovering from litigation battle. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. I want the thing.
Good morning and welcome to the Carmiece Grade Show. Get ready to get great information on knowing your rights on estate planning, bankruptcy, divorce, alimony, and much more. Now, for today's show, here's attorney Carmiece Graves.
Good morning. Welcome to the Carmiece Graves radio show. And I am attorney CPA Carmiece T. Graves. I practice estate planning, family law, and bankruptcy in the Washington, D.C. area. And we're here. And this show is designed to share experiences, from my perspective as a practicing attorney. It seems like the areas that I practice really affect everyday people. So what we want to do is, as much as we can, share lessons learned so that we can, maybe learn and grow together. And really benefit from, just having some wisdom shared and knowing when you need to take action. That's the key thing. And here's some things we want to talk about today, because I was like, what am I going to talk about? Well, there's a lot going on. I wanted to talk about some current events because we have great things going down in Morehouse. We got some salacious things going on from the Harvard alumni. It was a little, y'all, we have, AmLaw, where they kind of report on what's going on in the legal industry, and there's this big nasty litigation between Harvard alumni, and an article was written by a Harvard alumni talking about it's so vicious. It's really interesting. And then we have the great news from Morehouse, where the class of 2019 was blessed. Their debt was forgiven, their student loans. What a surprise. Oh my goodness. I would have fell out my chair. I would have been so dramatic. Like, oh my goodness. I've been blessed. The Messiah has come. What? You wiped out my student loan debt? What? Now, and that's the thing that I really would love to do with my money. It's those kind of things that really impact folks' lives, and they were deserving. They were there. They were happy already, and you just, man, that's how you do that thing. I was very proud of that. That's how you do that. And Oprah is always supporting, and people are in our community are always supporting and doing great things. That would just be a dream come true. So anyway, those are the things that that caught my attention. Oh, what else caught my attention is what's going on in our political, with our government. We're looking at the political process unfold. This is the time that you guys are learning constitutional law with your life. Okay, it's going down. This is how this bad boy is set up. It is the president, we got the executive branch, we got the congressional branch, and we got the judicial branch. 3 checks and balances. Okay, is it working? Y'all, is this thing working? Because this is being tested. Okay, the executive branch jumped out there like what? Like gangsters. New York gangsters. You know that man from New York? Came up there like New York gangsters, like, no, we not doing this, we not doing that. Forget your subpoenas. What? We not doing that. Okay, we like, dang, it's a standoff between one of the 2 branches. What happens next? Now, okay, one branch gets to go to the 3rd branch and be like, yo, they wildin', check them. And the 3rd branch is the judicial branch and says, wait a minute, these are the rules, and we interpret the rules and we apply them and say, we're going to make the decision of how we're going to deal with this. District court showing up like this. No, Congress is valid. We're not going to get into all the weeds of what they're doing. They seem to have, an argument that need to look into your taxes and stuff. So we're going to need that. You know what I mean? You're going to have to comply. Now, the next step is what we got to watch, because that's what makes this democracy a democracy. Once you go through the system, you got to fall in line, or else we just start wilding and be like other countries where it's just everybody be like, just forget the rules. Who cares about your rules? We have guns. You be like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? This is what makes America America. This is what, so, now you just got to respect that that's the order of things. And the tiebreaker made the tie-breaking move. So, because one of the things you kind of forget is that the federal court is tiered. You know, it just don't go up to the Supreme Court. So you think, okay, so Trump got them folks in, you know, he got a lot of conservatives on the Supreme Court, and they do hear really big, important issues. But when you going in there to battle, you're at the district level. Them bad boys is like, look, I'm here to do my job. I'm about to do what I can. They're like, this is my moment. Go district court, go. They're like, this is what we came here for. This is what we do. We that big court. We're going to hear this. Going to make a decision. What? You remember, every time there's a battle with executive branch, them judges be popping out. Travel ban denied. Go above me. You know what I mean? I'm saying no. But then there's a process. There's courts, you know, you start with the district court, and then you could appeal up to the circuit. And they're going to make the decision. So it's really interesting. There's a vibrancy. It's going on. It's going down. There's a lot going on. So, but what's going on with people on the ground dealing with everyday issues of family law? We're going to do family law, y'all. We're going to do family law because I just, you know, really settled a big case. And it was a lot. It was a lot to it. And I want to just kind of share with you some of the impacts, like, you know, and some of the things that I, you know, have observed in my practice. I'm always like, because coming together and being in a relationship is really a dynamic process, and I'm so interested in it. That's why I'm a family law attorney. So I really appreciate people, and I'm looking at kind of where we're at, because some of this stuff gets mucky. Okay, this thing gets dirty because it's personal. You know, might not be, you know, really ready for such a big life-changing event, and how people respond under stress. See, that's what it is. It's a stress tester. It is stress. That's what it is. It is, how do people respond to stress? Because this one is a pressure cooker, okay? And some people just snap and be tripping. You know what I mean? Some people can hold it together, and any combination and cocktail in between. So, some of the things that I'm seeing there is, you know what, just chalk that up to the game. That the person that you're dealing with might not be recognizable. Stress, you know, the stress trigger has been pushed, the button has been launched, and it's just red alert. So that's why we always talk about getting that emotional support. Other things that are important to me is the impact on children, okay? Because these bad boys be in the middle of all this, you know, and it's no joke. These are, you know, real little human beings. So imagine, I said that the adults, it's a stress test for the kids too, okay? It's a stress test for the kids. So you're feeling the stress of it. Everybody involved in this is feeling the stress of it. Children, you know, I kind of have like a third-party view of it, because I'm not like seeing people's kids on a day-to-day basis, but I do have to deal in here with some of the changes that they're going through as we're going through this process of trying to get from point A to Z through a divorce. And I see, I hear about it, what's going on with them in school, and behavioral issues, and you know, then it's rolling into mental health issues. And so one of the things that's just so common, if there's little children involved, you know, they might need to get, you know, I would encourage that they get, you know, therapy, speak with, you know, just make sure they have an outlet to kind of process what's going on. Because imagine they're young, don't have a lot of life experience, and they still have to process what's going on. They only could do it to the level that they know about life at that point, and it may be not drawing the best conclusion. And we want to make sure that it's not a conclusion that, you know, you always hear that people's older as adults, they talk about the time when, you know, when their parents got divorced, and my mom and dad split up, then it was a big break in what was going on with me. I was kind of stable and everything was good, and then the divorce and da-da-da-da. So that point, know that they're at that point and may really need some support so that they can process it in a healthy way and don't take blame or fault or feel, you know, less than on, you know, pick up scars, you know, as a result of this. So that's one. So that's a big one. I think the biggest one is I'm seeing that for some reason people ask me what are my perspectives about marriage and relationships, being I'm a divorce attorney. Like, am I like cynical or jaded about it? And no, I'm not. I'm really not. One of the things I do say about it, though, is that it seems like when people get married, they're more compelled to stick it out, and the threshold for suffering increases, it seems like, with marriage. So I'm going to say that, before you, which rightfully kind of so, because it is a big commitment. So you don't like walk away from it lightly. But you got to really know that you are in a healthy situation, because when you put on the big M on top of that, that means you're going to might stretch it out. You know what I mean? And if that's a stretch out of just a lot of unhappiness and unsavoriness, that's not a good look, because it really, if you think about it, it was intended to bring you more joy and happiness and growth and all the, enjoy. So if it's predominantly on a negative vibration, I think we have to get a little bit more sensitive. This is just my perspective, hey, take it, leave it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not right, different perspectives, but from my point of view, we have to get a little bit more on the front end, real diligent about what, gauging whether this is a good emotional space to be in. If this person's a good emotional match, but it's hard because in the beginning you have a lot of other chemicals flying around that mask what's really going on sometimes, that it's more of a chemical response and you don't have an actual gauge as to whether this is a good match. And you see things with that other stuff that's going on when you're falling in love, makes you kind of overlook it. And when that all settles down and the dust settles and now you're dealing with that thing that now it's getting bigger and bigger, people are sticking in there, kind of, turning a blind eye to it. And man, by the time I see it, it's out of control. It's like, whoa, okay, like this thing, I think it's going to be important for self-care to, take a good check, a good gut check. You know what I mean? A good gut check on how the situation is feeling and focus on, improving the vibration if it needs to be improved. But just sitting there and letting it fester and grow, man. It's sometimes not a good emotional look in it. But it is life. It's life. Hey, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. But I'm just to share, like, okay, look at that side of things, because I think we're kind of sitting in it, and then you're not prepared. You know what I mean? And it happens, and it's like, well, you don't really see that coming. No, okay. Well, so sometimes we're just thinking because we're in the committed marriage that you just kind of let things. And so maybe this is the sweet spot of it. Because you're married, don't divorce from the idea that you gotta really make it a healthy space to be in. Don't just agree because we married and it halfway sucks that we just gonna ride it out, because it's not gonna stay at the suck level that it is right now. It's going to get worse. So don't think that you don't agree to ride out something that's causing you. I think I can make it. I'll just do this. I'll just be busy with that. And I'll just kind of let that be at a C-. It's going to get to D+ and F. It's gonna build momentum, because you be like every day you be like, I can't take this no more. You start talking to yourself. If he do this one more time, if he do this one more, you start. It becomes more and more irritating because you focus on it. You've looked at it longer. It's not the 5th time, it's the 19th time. You be like, God, that's why they said it was small things. If you would just put the toilet paper right where if you got the basket and you don't put it in the basket. Why? Why you don't put toilet paper in the basket? Oh, man. So we got to really not let the construct of marriage take away from investing in the good vibrations that you want and the good nurturing environment you want to be in. Don't let that just go, because you be like this, man, you just can't leave. Not true. Okay, that's what they call me. Like this, I'm out of here. I be like, okay, this might be crazy, but hold on, I get you through. I will get you through. And that's the part of it that I want to ease on my side. I want it to be a little less volatile by the time I get involved. I want more amicability, okay? So this is a selfish cry for y'all to not let it get so crazy. Gotta be like, oh man, this is gonna be bad because I got to go with you. I get all in the facts so that when it's time to go and negotiate for you or litigate for you, I know it like I'm you. Nah, back in 07, that's what was going on. I gotta submerge into your space and understand and get your life picture, really entrenched, so that when it's time to advocate your best position on issue by issue, the 5 that matter in divorce, I'm there. And ooh, it was good too, but it still takes a lot out of me. So I'd rather not have to, deal with any issues and let it be amicable. But if that's what we got to do, I'm going to go there with you. So I'll be there with you, rain or shine, but I want us to be shining, okay? That's, it's my hope and wish. So anyway, we are going to check in with traffic and weather, and we'll be right back to the Carmiece Grace Radio Show. Stay tuned. Thanks so much. Y'all see I'm still in recovery. Woo, that case was a lot, y'all. But came back with that victory, though. And victory, what is it? Is there a victory in family law? Well, I define it as that I kind of sit down and consult with my client and say, hey, this is what I see. This is what I think. Based on the fact is, if what you're telling me is true, that's always key with clients. If what you're telling me is true, and I can support it with A, B, and C, this is where I think we should end up. And that is, if you hit that mark, you on. I can't promise you the sun, moon, and stars, but we ain't got the facts. And sometimes you just got bad facts, right? It's really, what sides you get with the facts, or what facts you develop. That's where that audit come in, baby. I'm going through them bank statements like this. Seen this, seen that. The auditor be on them, boy, chasing that money. I'm still hyped, sorry. All right, we're back. You're tuned into the Carmiece Grace Radio Show. Attorney CPA Carmiece to Grace in the building, and I got the mic. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to my show. I come on once a week, Tuesdays from 10 to 10:30, right after Tom Jordan morning show on 1450 WOL. And here I'm talking about the impacts of high custody cases. And my selfish view for you to be so much more happier in your relationship, in your marriage, and if it look like it's downsliding, let's just focus on it, get it going in the right direction, but don't let it it will slam. And y'all think this thing, just going to the sunset. Divorces happen at all stages because people, you don't know where they at. You done did that one, you done did it again. You did it for the last time, that thing that annoyed them, and you got to work on it. Most people that make it, I think the key is good alignment, really finding a person that pushes much more of your good buttons than not. And then you knowing how to, really keep yourself at a good emotional space and not relying on somebody else to do that. You'll just be a better experience, and it'll be just a better experience for you and everybody. So taking responsibility for making yourself happy is key, and then not being with someone that's just blowing you. You be like, oh, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you again. You know what I'm saying? With your negativity. You know? You don't want to be around nobody and make you feel like they be like, okay, we gonna have, no, I'm not doing this today. The sun is out. It's beautiful outside. I'm feeling beautiful. No, I don't want to be around that negative energy. That's why people that be all that complaining and stuff, but I don't really want to hear that. You know what I mean? My money don't want to hear that. I'm trying to live good. That's good. If I'm trying to live good, I got to feel good. I got to be good. I can't do that. Okay? So finding that, balance that keeps you, that don't really have you using all your energy just to be happy because you blown around the person. You know what I'm saying? That's what those are the people that make it the 45 year. That's because it had to be good. It had to be a good space to be in. They didn't just stick it out. They just stuck it out. No, they didn't. Nobody did that. Divorce been around forever. Everybody been getting divorced forever, okay? I mean, when people can't take it no more, they don't, okay? It's when we get with something that feels more good to us, and let's be more sensitive about how we feel and care about it and make it a priority. You're not there to just stick it out. You're there to enjoy it. So, let's make sure we're doing that, and that's really... to pick that well, you need to know what is that for you. If you don't know what makes you feel good, you're not doing it, and then you don't know whether someone is a match. So it really starts with you. That's how it starts with you. Like, okay, well, if you want it to be good, well, what's good? You have to set your own standard for good. What's good for you? You know what I mean? What does that energy look like? What does that vibe look like? And then you can say, okay, that's a match. But if you ain't even doing it, only thing you know is it not being like that. So you pick that. Because that's what's familiar. You want, that's why it don't work. Because all you know is it not working. So you get it not working. So it really starts with us. It starts with us. So, really caring about how we feel, spending time, taking that seriously. The amount of sleep, eating well, getting outside, walking around, okay, being in nature. That stuff matters. Taking time, make time. Take a bath, do something. Go dance, listen to music, do something. Go out, do something. You know what I mean? Besides sit on the couch, eat, and watch Netflix. Come on, do something. Make sure you're feeling good. But if that makes you 100% joyful, do that. Sometimes I was in the house all day Saturday. I just shut the world out. Like, nope. You know what I mean? The only thing I had to get myself, because I descend down into hell and with my client and be like, I'm going to make sure we both come up out of this, but we both went to hell. Okay? Shoot. I be like, dang. It sucks either way. You know what I mean? You don't really want to be in court arguing with the person you married. You know what I'm saying? It sucks at a fundamental level. So, So, it really does. It's not a good experience. This is the person you loved, you cared for. So I'm asking for us to be real sensitive to that vibration. Keep it as best we can. If it's going south, just get real about it. But anyway, we're all doing the best we can, and like I said, rain or shine, I'll be there with you. Hell or high water, we might be in hell, but we gonna get back. I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you back to shore. I'm gonna leave you there. I'm like, look, you got to heal. There's more healing to do after this, but I got you through the legal process. I got you in, I got you out. And they say, what's a victory? A victory is at least I can say this is where we should end up based on if what you told me is true, and I find out that there's not a whole bunch of other bad facts you left out from the other side. I can say, this is kind of how I see this playing out, and back that up and defend that and see how much of that I get in the end. And that's the barometer of that. I can't promise you the sun, moon, and stars. I'll be like, we got some bad facts. We get some drug abuse. We get some domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? If we got some bad, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't TV, kid. You know what I mean? So I got to tell you really how we have to really deal with what has occurred in reality against what the court has traditionally done or has settled to be the standard of law in that area. So knowing that, so anyway, if you guys need me, you know how to reach me. If not, call me 240-573-7153. You can Google me, Carmiece, Carmiece. Get something close. I think Google me, baby. It's gonna correct it. I gotta laugh, y'all. I gotta keep it light, because I'm in the midst of it with you guys, and I want us. But I think we're doing good. We're doing fine. Just take action. More people are taking action. Get lawyers involved. Don't settle the case yourself. Not when if it's uncontested, go ahead and go. You ain't got nothing to fight about. Okay, no kids, no property, go. Why are we here? You know what I mean? But if you got property that has value, no. Come get a consultation at a minimum. Okay, don't rely on your legal skills without the whole bar and degree self. Only with the internet. Don't do that. So if you care about your stuff, make sure you get a consultation. If you need help, people have been reaching out, with estate planning needs. You got loved ones. I will travel if someone is not able to travel, but they have capacity. We can make arrangements that I can do visits if they're not very mobile, because sometimes that becomes difficult. Next week, we're going to be talking with Daniel Mashallah about foreclosure prevention initiatives around the city, and helping and making sure that you guys know about, nonprofit organizations that can help get in, because like I said, bankruptcy, we want that to be your last alternative. You know what I mean? We want it to be the methodology of last resort, so that you can explore other options. So we're going to make sure that information is available, and hopefully he will be on the show next week, but he is supposed to be here. So anyway, that is all I got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning into the Carmiece Grace radio show. I'm ready to what? Oh no, come on. This is one of those days, y'all. Every show, like it's like every 6 months or so. This happens to me. I'll be on the show where I'm just, okay, signing off. And then my engineer be like, no, keep going. I'm like, what? We ain't done. We're done. Shoot, I got a lot of stuff to do. All right, well, back to current events then. So I think that I'm really looking forward to. I'll be looking to see. Let me tell you guys, because the news right now is so toxic. I have to read it. You know what I mean? To keep control of how I digest it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't cause so much of an emotional spike to me. I have to read it. You know what I mean? So I can just control, like, okay, all right, I just need it plain. I don't need you sensationalizing it. I don't need you hyping it up. I don't need you asking all these volatile questions with all these doomsday predictions. I don't need all that part of it. Just give me the facts. Let me know what's going on. And usually, typically, writing kind of has more of that, and you get to animate it in your mind for yourself how much, you know what I mean? So I got to control. I got to keep that. I got to watch that with the side eye. Be like, all right, let me just get y'all what's going on. Okay, let me read. Okay, because I cannot tune in. Because like we said, everything that we're experiencing is really, you know, a really consistent, it's the result of a really consistent vibration that you're on. So feeling good and really focusing on the best outcome for everyone involved in whatever situation you find yourself in really is where you got to stay. Because like they said, hate is hate. Hate is hate. It can't be justified. It is what it is. It don't matter if you justify it. It does not matter. So you have to really watch the channels that you're on vibrationally, because there's things that come along those channels, and there are things like disease, divorce, usually like, you know, things that you really don't want to experience. So watch them. They don't produce great stuff. That's why people don't mess with them. Not because they think, well, some people might just say, you know, somebody outside of me is not going to validate me, and I may be punished, but if I get away with it, I get away with it. But then, no, do you? No, you don't, because now you're going to get the future impacts of that vibrational channel, which is hate. And you got to, you know, it's a strict law, you know, and I like to really understand and have some predictability about, you know, the next experiences I'm going to have, and I got to hold myself to that standard. So I just have to really, because I find that with sports, you know, and politics, like, those are two areas where people justify, like, negative vibrations, and it's okay. You can just explain it away. I'm like, no, it still is what it is. So that's why I had to kind of step back from being a fan, because you be talking trash and stuff, be enjoying each other's miseries. It just gets a little weird. Be like, ooh, that hurt, that interception. Ooh, you're out of it, Philly, you're out. That's not good. But it is an energy of it, but it's exciting. But I want to choose vibrations that are going to manifest good things. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, this is really like 5 minutes later. You see how off I was? But anyway, thanks so much again for tuning into the Carmiece Radio Show. I'll be back next week. Hopefully you will be too, where we're going to share some information about foreclosure defense in the community, nonprofit organizations doing great things on the ground. And if you need any help with any, you know, short sales and stuff like that, we're going to have an expert in the building, Daniel, mashallah. So thanks so much for tuning into the Carmiece Radio Show. And I think it's a wrap. All right, take care.
You've been listening to the Carmiece Graves Show with attorney Carmiece Graves. To reach Attorney Graves, please call 240-573-7153. That's 240-573-7153. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power.
Good morning, folks. I'm Earl Kirk.